Have you ever met someone who never seems to get too excited, too angry, or too hurt? No matter what happens, they stay calm in arguments. They don't cry at sad movies. They don't chase people who pull away. You might call them cold. But what if their silence isn't the absence of feeling? It's the presence of a very old survival strategy. Let's understand what's really happening inside emotionally detached people. Reason 1. They learned that feelings weren't safe. In developmental psychology, children learn emotional rules from how adults respond to them. If a child's sadness was dismissed or their anger was punished, they slowly learn one lesson. Showing emotion doesn't get comfort. It gets consequences. So the child adapts, not because they stop feeling, but because feeling loudly stopped working. Years later, that same person walks into adulthood looking unbothered, when really, they just never unlearned the old rule. Reason 2. Detachment is a nervous system decision, not a personality trait. This is where attachment theory becomes useful. People with an avoidant attachment style don't detach because they don't care. They detach because closeness once felt overwhelming or unpredictable. Think of it like touching a hot stove as a kid. You don't need to touch it again to know to keep your hand back. Emotional distance becomes their hand staying back. Automatic, not personal. Reason 3. Overthinking feelings instead of feeling them. Cognitive psychology shows us that some people process emotion through logic first. Instead of asking, "How do I feel?" they ask, "What does this mean? What should I do?" It's a mental shortcut that skips vulnerability and goes straight to problem solving. So when something upsetting happens, they analyze it instead of expressing it, which can look detached, but is really just a different route to the same emotion. Reason 4. Independence became their identity. Socially, we praise people who don't need anyone. So emotionally guarded people often build their self-image around self-sufficiency. Needing comfort starts to feel like weakness, not because they were told that directly, but because independence got rewarded every time they didn't ask for help. Eventually, "I don't need anyone" stops being a coping method and becomes a personality trait they wear with pride. Reason 5. Vulnerability feels like losing control. Emotional psychology tells us vulnerability requires trust that the other person won't misuse what you show them. For someone who has been hurt, embarrassed, or let down after opening up, staying guarded feels safer than staying open. So they keep the door slightly closed. Not to shut people out completely, but to control how much can hurt them. Emotionally detached people aren't broken, and they're not incapable of love. They're often just protecting a part of themselves that once got hurt for feeling too much. Understanding this doesn't mean excusing distance. It means recognizing that behind most walls, there's a story, not a flaw. And sometimes, the most emotional people you'll ever meet are the ones who learned to hide it the best.